When you're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting it. When you walk, I want you to do like this. And boom, 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 boom. You keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Jake Paul, I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson, was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. Almost a 100-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis recently joined forces with the legendary Mike Tyson for an intense training session ahead of his blockbuster clash with Jake Paul. The energy inside the gym was electric as Tyson passed on his trademark aggression and precision to the young champion. Working closely with Tank, Iron Mike focused on explosive power, head movement, and those devastating uppercuts that defined his own career. Witnesses say Davis looked sharper than ever, mixing Tyson's raw ferocity with his own refined skill. With this kind of mentorship, Tank isn't just preparing for a fight, he's preparing for destruction.
Yeah. Are there any considerations when you're moving your head, like you're trying to get your head out of the center line?
No, well, you want to get out the center, but the objective for him to throw the punch before you can counter. Like if he throws the punch here, you count here, you go to here, right, and you're still outside.
Yeah. Absolutely, that makes sense. So you want them to miss, and when they miss, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can punch while he's punching, you can throw boom at the same time. As he punches, boom, you go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're going. Whatever it is, boom, side, whatever it is, you have to go.
I love that foot movement. Is that something that Casamano taught you?
Yeah, twisting.
Twisting is what it's.
The highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis is officially set for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. The bout was originally planned for Atlanta, but the location was changed after the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission raised concerns about the significant weight gap between both fighters.
Oh my days. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. This is random, no?
Mike Tyson, who has shared a ring with Jake Paul, issued a word of caution as Paul gears up to face Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Tyson understands the pressure and unpredictability that come with fighting someone like Jake, but he's equally aware of the danger that comes with stepping in against a powerhouse like Davis. While Paul holds the edge in size and youth, Tyson pointed out that Tank's lightning speed, sharp timing, and devastating knockout power make him a threat to anyone, regardless of weight. His message was clear. Jake Paul might be walking into deeper waters than he realizes.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now, but he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that. But Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
During his training sessions with Tank, Mike Tyson didn't hold back on his thoughts about Jake Paul's power. Tyson admitted that Jake's punches carried unexpected force, strong enough to leave his entire body sore afterward. That confession stunned fans who've long dismissed Paul's strength as overhyped. But coming from a knockout legend like Tyson, that's not light praise. It confirms that Jake's power is very real. Tyson's words serve as proof that Paul's evolution isn't built on social media buzz. It's a result of serious training, discipline, and commitment to mastering boxing fundamentals. He's not just a YouTuber stepping into the ring anymore. He's becoming a genuine threat.
Oh, no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round, and then the next day I remember Jacob doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh, yeah, a little bow at the end. He bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, right after the day after, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it, but my body was really sore.
Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach and stuff was really sore.
Fans and analysts alike often draw comparisons between Gervonta Davis and the legendary Mike Tyson. Two fighters known for their devastating knockout power, ruthless aggression, and magnetic presence. But those parallels come with important context. Davis competes in a completely different time, division, and boxing environment. Tyson's legacy was built during an era where his dominance reshaped heavyweight history, while Davis is carving out his own path in the modern fight game, rewriting what power looks like at the lighter weights.
I mean, I have to ask you, would you ever remake your famous video game? Bring it to the next generation consoles, my friend?
Hey, I'm just happy to be alive. Thank
What
you.
about, I mean, what do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? I mean, what do you think about that?
Tank is a great fighter.
Okay. You think he's a great fighter? But what do they think? What do you think about them comparing him to you? I mean, you're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you. Okay, bye.
On the other hand, Gervonta Davis has distanced himself from the young Mike Tyson comparisons. In several interviews, he's made it clear that while he respects Tyson's legacy, their fighting styles are worlds apart. Davis sees himself as a calculated boxer puncher, someone who blends precision and timing, whereas Tyson thrived on relentless pressure, raw aggression, and psychological warfare.
Do you feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah,
What do you call your style?
I don't know. I think I'm a boxer puncher.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person.
A brawler, like somebody that's like.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like. Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole pack. I don't know. I'm me.
When Mike Tyson was asked about people comparing Gervonta Davis to him, his answer was as direct as ever. Tyson admitted there might be a few similarities, but not the kind fans usually imagine. He reportedly joked, maybe just a legal trouble, that's about it, referencing Davis's offering controversies. The remark made it clear that Tyson doesn't entirely buy into the idea that Davis is his modern-day reflection.
For Tank Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself? It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
There we go. I don't know. I don't. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
What's fascinating is that Gervonta Davis hasn't always seen Mike Tyson as an untouchable legend. After Tyson's loss to Jake Paul, Davis publicly questioned the decision to step back into the ring, suggesting that fighting for a payday might have done more harm than good to Tyson's legacy. His comments showed that Davis never put Tyson on an impossible pedestal. But now, the tables have turned. As Davis prepares to face Jake Paul himself, he's catching the same kind of criticism from fans, analysts, and boxing traditionalists who see the fight as more spectacle than sport.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We talk about Logan Brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. And he tried to knock him out for sure.
How much money you think they paid Tank?
Tank gonna make upwards around 100 million. Real talk, so you can't really blame him for taking that.
Many fans see this matchup as more of a show than a serious sporting contest, a clash built for attention rather than legacy. Critics argue that Davis skipped a well-deserved rematch with Lamont Roach just to chase the bigger payday. At the press conference, though, Davis made his stance crystal clear. He fired back at the doubters, saying he couldn't care less about opinions and that people should just sit back, watch, and enjoy the spectacle.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they would just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
I don't remember the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember, and maybe y'all can keep me honest online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring, like I'm building my legacy, I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. Like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future for himself and his family. He said it out of his own mouth. I ain't got nothing else to prove. If you're trying to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's still a whole lot to prove. My point is, Roy, I don't think, should everybody hold this man to the standard that they hold him to and say, you not fighting nobody, yeah, you making money, but you ain't really fought nobody. If he don't even care about that, that's not even something that he's really focused on. If his main focus is the money, and his main focus is getting out of boxing without getting hurt and retiring on his own terms, shouldn't his fan base and other people get on board with that if that's not even his goal? How can we hold him to something like that if he don't even hold himself to that?
Mike Perry never one to hold back his opinions. Didn't mince words when it came to Gervonta Davis facing Jake Paul. Perry argued that Tank isn't the same knockout machine he once was, hinting that his fire for sport has started to fade. He explained that when a fighter loses that inner hunger, it becomes almost impossible to compete with opponents who are naturally bigger, stronger, and more driven. Perry pointed out that despite Davis's technical sharpness and speed, he's walking into a serious disadvantage. Jake Paul could outweigh him by nearly 180 pounds on fight night. That kind of gap isn't small. It changes how punches connect, how energy drains, and how much punishment a fighter can realistically take.
Your buddy Jake just signed on to fight Tank Davis. What do you think of that fight? He's got like 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, and they say that there's a large weight discrepancy. Like, me and Jeremy are the same size. So, it's his lower half is really small. My legs are going to work the best that night. I have really strong legs. I'll squat twice the size that he can. And so my strong legs are going to do work. Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult didn't hold back when discussing the upcoming clash, boldly claiming that Jake Paul will be landing the heavier shots on Gervonta Davis. His argument is simple. Jake's size, reach, and raw power give him undeniable advantages. While Tank's skill and explosiveness are well known, Showbiz believes Paul's physicality and toughness will allow him to control the fight's pace. His take adds to the wave of doubt surrounding Davis's chances in this matchup. Despite Davis's speed and precision, Showbiz insists that the sheer difference in size and strength could be the deciding factor, one that might tilt the fight in Jake Paul's favor.
Think of, how does Tank Davis beat Jake Paul? You have Shakur Stevenson saying Jake Paul doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, and that Gervonta Tank Davis would just outbox him and beat him on points.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
And I get that, but when I think of Tank Davis, I think of a guy who kind of counters you to knock you out. I think of a guy who's not really a busy fighter. And this isn't just a size thing, because hell, if it was Jake Paul versus the prime Manny Pacquiao, I would say Manny Pacquiao because of Manny Pacquiao's style, how busy he is, how he hops in and out, I think he would collect the points. While Tank Davis, I think he punches the least amount of all fighters in the world right now. So do I think he can one punch KO Jake Paul? Well, the thing is about Gervonta has really shown a huge amount of concern fighting anything north of 135. Check this out.
He hit me in the back of my head. That stung a little bit, but other than that, it wasn't really. That's why I was nervous. Like, he's 140, so I wasn't trying to get caught too clean.
Critics have been quick to point out that Jake Paul's recent actions, particularly his win over 58-year-old Mike Tyson, reflect a worrying pattern in his boxing journey. Many see his decision to fight an aging icon as more spectacle than sport, raising questions about how serious he truly is about competing at the highest level. Prominent voices like Carl Frock have also dismissed Paul's showing, claiming his victories rely more on showmanship and publicity than on real boxing skill or discipline.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. He's not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there. But Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening. It's positioning, it's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face to face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly gonna be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3, because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. Do you know what I mean? You never know.
Stephen A. Smith has been vocal in his criticism of Jake Paul's opponent choices, arguing that most of them are either past their prime or not true top-tier professionals. According to Smith, Paul still hasn't faced anyone from boxing's current elite who could truly test his abilities. Jake, however, has pushed back on that narrative, claiming he tried multiple times to secure a fight with Tommy Fury, a matchup he says Fury initially turned down. When the fight finally happened in February 2023, it became one of the rare occasions where Paul stepped in with a legitimate, active boxer in his prime. The result was a split decision loss for Paul, his first and only defeat against a seasoned professional.
You are beating up on dudes who don't box. They're not boxers.
I was on Disney Channel while these guys were winning UFC championships.
Okay.
You know, I was playing with Mickey Mouse while these guys were throwing arm bars and winning UFC championships. Everyone's, analyzing my career, critiquing it, paying attention to it from day one. But you can't tell me who was Mike Tyson's first fight. You can't tell me who Muhammad Ali, who was his fourth fight. No one knows, but everyone's seen all of my fights. I tried to fight Tommy Fury. Yeah, I tried to fight Tommy Fury, and he backed out due to a rib injury. Undefeated, young prospect. He comes from the Fury family. His brother's a heavyweight champion of the world. I tried to fight him, and he got scared.
Stephen A. Smith has been outspoken about Jake Paul's decision to face boxing icon Mike Tyson. He argued that if Paul truly wants to be taken seriously as a boxer, he should be challenging fighters closer to his own age and competitive level, not veterans who have already cemented their legacies and are well past their physical peak.
I can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested.
What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it.
And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
On the other hand, Jake Paul maintains that he's transforming the future of boxing. In a recent interview, he claimed the sport is more exciting than ever, crediting Netflix as a major catalyst for change. With the streaming giant now involved as a broadcast partner, Paul believes boxing is entering a new chapter, one designed to reach global audiences far beyond the traditional pay-per-view crowd. The move is significant, as Netflix's massive platform introduces a sport to millions who may have never watched a boxing match before.
Huge news, by the way.
It's massive.
Like,
yeah.
I know we're
It's
taking it very
massive.
nonchalantly. This is going to be your next super fight. And this is
on Netflix. Netflix. Insane.
So it's another Netflix fight.
November 14th, Netflix. Hey, it's fun. It's funny. Like, actually, you kind of like pioneered this a little bit. The pay-per-view model for combat is dying, it seems, especially now with the Paramount's acquisition of UFC. It seems like free fights may be the way of the future.
Piracy is such a big problem. That's what it is.
And I thought you did that with one of your fights where you were going against the piracy. What fight was that? Where I don't know, maybe.
No, I mean so there's there was like the TV era of boxing, then there was the pay-per-view era of boxing.
So what do you think? Can Tank handle Jake Paul's size and punching power? Or will Jake once again prove he's rewriting the rules of modern boxing? Share your opinions in the comments below.